You ever stop and think maybe the best tool for the job isn't the newest one on the shelf? Today, I want to share a story about a 40-year-old microphone and how it reminded me, right there in the middle of a shoot, that sometimes the things we overlook hold the most creative power. We live in a world obsessed with upgrades, faster, newer, shinier, but when it comes to storytelling, sometimes the most powerful tools are the ones with a little dust on them. Tools that have seen some things, that carry memory, and more than that, presence. I was booked to shoot a story at Capitol Records in Hollywood. Now, if you've ever been there or even seen photos, you know it's more than just a building, it's sacred creative ground. The moment you step inside, you feel it. The round tower against the LA sky, the lobby echoing with history, the black and white photos lining the hallways, Frank Sinatra with his fedora tilted back, the Beatles looking mischievous, Nat King Cole mid-performance, Diana Krall lost in a lyric. It doesn't feel like an office, it feels like walking through the bloodstream of music history. And you realize you're not just in a building, you're standing inside a story that's been unfolding for decades. When we stepped into the studio to set up, I noticed the engineer placing vintage Neumann microphones around the room. And I asked him, "You're using vintage mics for this session. They've got to be, 25 years old?" He smiled. "Actually, they're over 40 years old." I paused. "So these are the mics the greats recorded on? The Beatles, Stevie Wonder, Adele, Norah Jones, Michael Bublé, Diana Krall." He nodded. "Absolutely." And then I asked the question most of us would. Why are you still using 40-year-old mics? Aren't there newer ones that give you a cleaner recording? And he said something I'll never forget. "We use these because they have a presence, a warmth new mics don't have. The old technology comes across better. We record analog, then we mix digital." Right there in that studio, I felt something shift. That moment reminded me that in our rush to stay current, we sometimes overlook what's still timeless. And if you're anything like me or the creatives I work with, maybe you've done this too. Bought new gear you didn't need, swapped out tools that already worked, tried to force your process into something that looked shinier, but didn't feel right. Old doesn't mean outdated. Classic doesn't mean stuck. Some of the best stories you'll ever tell will come through tools that are familiar, broken in, seasoned. I thought back to my own career. I still own the very first tripod I bought decades ago. It's not fancy, it's heavier than I'd like, but you know what? It's steady, reliable, never failed me on a shoot. Same with my leather-bound notebook. In an age of iPads and AI apps, I still map stories with sticky notes and scribbles. It may look old school, but it helps me see the story in a way no software ever could. Those tools aren't obsolete, they're irreplaceable. Because they remind me it's not about keeping up, it's about creating something worth keeping. So if we're sitting down over coffee right now, I'd ask you, what tool in your kit are you undervaluing? What process have you been rushing past? What part of your creative DNA are you trying to replace with something newer? Because presence and warmth, that's not just a mic thing, that's a you thing. It's something you bring to your work when you slow down enough to notice what matters. Here's something practical. Next time you start a project, ask yourself, am I using the tool that works best or just the newest one? What process, habit, or ritual helped me tell stories well before? And have I abandoned it? Where can I slow down, capture something real, and then shape it with today's tools? Remember, the engineer said, we record analog, but we mix digital. That's wisdom. Capture real life, shape it with intention. Don't just let faster become your standard. Let felt become your goal. And this is the heartbeat of my new book. You really got to see this, because what those mics at Capitol taught me is what I wrote into every page. You don't need the newest thing to tell a powerful story. You need clarity. You need presence. You need to trust your instincts and use the tools you already have to create impact. My book is packed with insights and real examples just like this, moments that will challenge how you think about your story, how you value your work, and how you connect with your audience. You know, one reader told me a single chapter helped him rethink his pricing, his positioning, and his confidence as a creative. That's the power of a mindset shift. That's the power of owning your story. So if this episode resonated with you, grab a copy of You Really Gotta See This on Amazon or wherever books are sold online. Let it remind you that sometimes the best creative move forward comes from looking back. Presence, warmth, legacy, that's what those old mics gave the greats. And it's what your stories can still carry if you honor the process. Don't just chase what's next, respect what got you here. Because when you bring the best of the past into the present, you create something timeless. And maybe that's what your audience is waiting for. Not perfection, not polish, but presence. The kind that lingers long after the final note. Thanks for watching.